But if Magnus saves this game, that, I agree, will give him confidence because he, in the end, succeeded in not losing. And if it's true what you guys are saying now on Twitter and also in the...
Rare, then sometimes you've seen him crack. And I'm thinking of, for example, a rook and pawn in game that he played against the Chinese player Wang Hao.
How strong the engine is, we can either believe that evaluation completely or just...
Well, actually, there are some positions where they're not as good as others. And actually,
this type of position...
endgames with opposite coloured bishops, they don't always evaluate... well, we simply don't know. We got more moves. It's gone bishop d5, rook c4, bishop d5, and then rook c5. Magnus just hassling the bishop. It seems to me that Shakhriyar hasn't really made much progress with those moves, which suggests to me, I mean, there's no harm in repeating a couple of times, but it suggests to me he's getting a little bit stuck. So we've gone bishop e4, really picked. Yeah, and if the bishop moves somewhere, then we can take on h7.
Rook b7 on the board, so our YouTube live audience plays just as well as the tournament leader, Shakhriyar Mamedyarov.
Okay, let's do that slowly. Rook b7. Well, Anna, you've been very brave with Magnus so far, but can I recommend that you don't ask him, Magnus, were you suffering? I'm not going to ask him that because I think it's pretty clear.
Say something along the line. Do you remember something that I told you in the break?
Yeah, but I've forgotten it, of course.
Yeah, it's a long day. Huszár is a knight in Hungarian.
Yeah, Huszár something.
Huszár a tabla. So if we move the bishop from d5
to...
well, once again to b7, isn't it what we were looking at? Well, c6, what Shakhriyar played bishop to c6. Actually, yeah, same idea. We are going to see this probably. Magnus has just played bishop a3. And rook f7, it actually makes sense to threaten e7 and rook takes f6 at the same time. Rook f7 on the board, played by Shakhriyar Mamedyarov. Good for black. White should play on move 56, king h4.
Instead of rook takes f6, king h4.
And there he goes. Shakhriyar has just played it. The best move of the engine, I'm being told.
Wow.
And now my computer decided to disconnect from the world. I will reboot everything. I don't have internet, Danny.
Will survive. That is very interesting. King h4, of course, now we see this on the board, is a much stronger move because we can take on f6 without allowing black's king forward. And that feels like significant progress to me from white. Because after rook f6, the king has to go back to g7. And that's two connected passed pawns.
This pose of Magnus that he's just showing is not something that we see that often, but there are some great photos of Magnus doing actually the same, as if he was talking to his pieces. No, not anymore. The pieces don't listen. He's suffering. Yes. I think that's the correct evaluation of the position.
Every picture tells a story. Magnus, were you suffering?
Are you going to ask him?
Anna, you ask him.
No way. I'll ask him about his opinion on the game, and he will be frank enough to tell us that he was suffering if he wants to join the post-mortem analysis, but maybe we finished too late.
I don't think we should...
force issues.
Well, they have an important last round tomorrow.
Yes, and it's late. So we might not even invite Shakhriyar, actually.
No, I don't think we should.
It's been a long day for them.
Yeah.
We will be nice to the players.
As ever.
once in a blue moon.
And maybe they'll be nice to us.
They're usually nice to us.
They
I
are,
understand
they are.
they have their moments, and it's difficult to be always in front of a camera that records your answers, and then you can never take your word back. I mean, for the players. For us, we are just used to it.
So
right?
let's see. Rook e2. He's played bishop c1. Okie dokie.
That's a very disappointed Magnus. He knows that it's lost.
And, okay, sorry, I've got an idiot question. Of course, we can take on f6 with check. Sorry, I've got an idiot question. Why not e7? Has he set a trap? I want to make a queen, by the way. I'm telling you my intentions.
Thank you. You're so kind.
Plus
11.
11 after e7. Yeah, I can't see, because well, the only thing is whether the rook can come here and deliver a checkmate, but if I play king h3, that seems to stop a checkmate. So I don't see the issue. That looks like the end of the show after bishop c1, e7. Shaq is just going to take his time.
Mm-hmm.
He's got big paws, and he should take a big pause. Just, there's no need to leap in, but there he goes. E7 is on the board, and I think, Magnus can't believe it. He's just overlooked this.
He missed it.
He missed it.
After almost 5.5 hours of play, Magnus Carlsen blunders.
But it's quite possible he was lost in that position anyway.
Quite possible. But this is painful.
Our producer was saying that it was perhaps still tenable.